Dogs. We will talk more about this later, but with a win against the Dogs, Brutal will clinch the South Riverdale division. Behind Brutal is Bubba Gump and Soul Glow. They're both at 500, sitting at 6-6. They both still technically have a shot at the division and at the wild card, though slim, but still definitely a chance. And now taking a look at the Pick'em, which should pretty much just now be labeled the Coach Jay Young's Pick'em, because he is raping ass, taking names, and just really dominating. Again, he got all 6 correct this past week. Him, Iron Dogs, and Alert all got 6 right. Looks like we had quite a bit of coaches with their thumb up their asses, and they weren't able to actually submit votes. Brutal actually being one of them, who was actually competing for Jay Young. He's dropped down now, but Coach Jay Young is now he's got a 10-point lead. He's got 55 points. Coach Zach Palucha and Coach Phil are in second, but unless something crazy happens, Coach Jay Young's pretty much got this shit wrapped up.
The Power Rankings. Hey, who's number 1? Hey, who's sucking ass? The Dynasty Power Rankings.
The Power Rankings this week, the article was written by Coach Bub Palucha, as usual, wonderful job. The picture is a picture of 5 of the 6 winners from Thanksgiving weekend this past week, week 12. The 6th winner, Coach Zach Palucha, let's face it, that game really means shit, so he didn't get to be in the picture, but the other 5 coaches look wonderful in their pilgrim outfits. As we look at the actual rankings, we have Brutal Deluxe remaining at the number 1 slot. 3 first place votes, 58 points. Behind him now is the Amber Alerts, still at number 2, big win this week, right behind Brutal actually with 57 points. Behind him, number 3, the Riverdale Scoopers remain 3rd. Even though they lost this week, they still remain at number 3. Number 4, Yellow Peril, coming up from 5, 46 points. Then you got the Hunters, Bubblegum Shrimp. So basically, you got Brutal, Alert, Scoopers, Peril, Hunters, Bubblegum Shrimp, top 6, and essentially, really the 6 guys all fighting for the 4 playoff spots. Negrodamus is at 7, Soglo is at 8. It can be argued that they are still in contention. Handy Quacks at 9, Hong Kong at 10, Iron Dogs at 11, Senators in last.
Now, let's take a look into the future with next week's matchups.
Lucky number 13. Week 13, we all play the final team in the league that you have not played yet. We have a team who could clinch a division. We have teams clawing and fighting for playoff berths. We have teams serving as spoilers. And then we have the Iron Dogs and the Senators. But in the big Jumbo Donuts game of the week, we have the 6-6 Bubblegum Shrimp up against the 8-4 Heritage Park Hunters. Coach Bub will likely have to win out in order to have a shot for his 4th consecutive playoff berth, while Coach Stacy has won 3 in a row and still has the division title in his grasp. This game, which was originally slated for 1 p.m., has been flexed to prime time. The next game will be the 9-3 Riverdale Scoopers up against the 4-8 Hong Kong Cavaliers. Coach Eric is 2-0 against Coach Whiffen all time, and the Cavs are the losers of 6 straight. But many feel that destiny has run its course for the Scoopers and his overachieving squad. We shall see. The next game is the 6-6 Handy Quacks up against the 6-6 Soul Glow. This game, let's see, we got Coach Tavaleri. He's continuing to climb the ladder. He's winners of 3 straight. But in a possible weird twist of fate, Handiquacks is kind of more in the spoiler status for this game. Will Soglo win to go to 7-6, or can Handiquacks officially end his run? The next game is the 1-11 Rockdalian Senators against the 8-4 Yellow Peril. The Senators haven't won since Ronald Reagan was in office. Just kidding. The Senators actually did win this year, apparently. They won in the Toilet Bowl against the Iron Dogs. But now they're losers of 3 in a row, while the Yellow Peril now have won... they now have one of the better rushing attacks in the league. This may be lining up perfectly for the rookie. And in the next game is the 5-7 Negro Damas up against the 9-3 Amber Alerts. These two goddamn coaches will likely be watching this game together at the Amber Alerts compound. The Alerts are hot, red hot, winners of 3 straight, while Negros is 5-2 against Johnny C all time. Coach Phil hopes that this matchup sure as shit doesn't go to Monday night, but it very well may, with Vincent Jackson of the Alerts playing in that Monday night game. Can the Alerts maintain their lead in the North Riverdale division? We shall see. And the final game is the 9-3 Brutal Deluxe going up against the 1-10 Iron Dogs. And actually, to talk about this game, among other things, we got ourselves on the Jumbo Donuts hotline. The Dynasty board member. He's a Dynasty Power Rankings Association member. He is the Dynasty spreadsheet analyst, and he's the coach of the 9-3 South Riverdale Division leading Brutal Deluxe. You guessed it, goddamn Coach Brandon McDowell. Coach, I'm delighted to have you on the show. I know you've been waiting a long time, eagerly, to be on the show, so I thank you for taking the time and being on today.
Well, thanks for the call, Commissioner Eric. I certainly appreciate being on the podcast. I know I look forward to it every week, and I'm happy to participate in it this week.
Excellent to hear that. Now, Coach, after 6 straight wins, you're the hottest team in the league right now. You're currently at 9-3, and you have a 3-game lead in the less than competitive South Riverdale Division. You must be very happy with how your team is playing right now.
Well, Eric, I definitely feel like I have a lollipop of a time in my division, but I don't think it takes away from my team in any way. I'm just looking forward to hopefully adding to another title to my collection here at home in the Dynasty Jumbo Donuts Championship Trophy. So I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. Now, you may not be aware of this. You joined the Dynasty last year. However, myself and Drew Breeze, we actually go way back. We've had a very up and down sexual relationship for 6 years. He was actually on my team from Dynasty 1 through Dynasty 6. Maybe not every single game, but at one point or another, he was on my team. He then made his way over to Handiquacks last year and won a championship. Something I couldn't do with Mr. Breeze. You were actually able to obtain him last week at the trade deadline, and he helped you to a victory this week. How do you feel about Mr. Breeze and his mole?
Well, I think a big part of fantasy football, Eric, and you might file this one under luck, is really just timing. And for me, it falls under the management category when it comes to fantasy football, and in that it just all comes down to timing and buying low, selling high. I had some concerns about Ben Roethlisberger going into this week, and his thumb or finger being a little banged up, and really at this point, being invested in this season, didn't want to take any chances. So, that's kind of why I did what I did in getting an upgrade as well as a different quarterback on the team this year.
Well, he is one very good quarterback. I think he's second in not only quarterback but all fantasy players right now, and